Hello everybody, this is Tyra Oliver with Jaunty Cat Graphics, and today I am showing you a snippet of me working on my latest piece, or one of my latest pieces, Chastity, as a part of my 7 Heavenly Virtues series. If you want to see the previous videos in this series, click the links that are going to pop up here at the top. And at this point in the process, I am working on the male figure. Okay, now as I stated in my last video, I'm actually working on each element individually. Like, I'm not working all my figures at once or anything like that. I'm just taking my time and making sure everything that I'm doing is more or less developed to my satisfaction, and I don't have to do a whole lot of skipping around and things of that nature. So with this gentleman that I'm currently drawing, I'm working on his head, and I'm just giving him just a very attractive silhouette. I'm using his hands and his pose as a device to just inject a little bit of personality in his, in his stance and in his figure and whatnot. And with the work that I'm doing, because I am highly influenced by classical art and even older movies and TV shows, I'm just fond of making my figures be at least a little bit dramatic. You know how back in the olden days they used their hands and their facial expressions, just the whole body was really thrown into the picture or the movie or whatever, and I just find it really appealing. So with this gentleman, I am giving him kind of curly hair, and I'm just working on making him look like he's back in, well, the character design is based off of about the 1820s to 1830s style, with his hair being swept forward, and his suit is of that design. And the girl's character design is more late 1700s peasant. The girl's got more of a peasant type of vibe, but this man is supposed to be more rich and wealthy, and he's supposed to look very charming, and pretty much he's the type of guy that looks good on paper. And that leads me into a little bit about the concept of this piece. The guy is supposed to look good and be all handsome and the strapping gentleman, but really he's really this nefarious person, and she kind of knows that on some level. But yeah, with his character design, he's supposed to just be well dressed and clean cut and stylish. Well, maybe not stylish for nowadays, but stylish within the canon of this universe. But as far as the character designs, myself and Tasia really take a lot of influence from fashion history. And my favorite periods in fashion history to actually incorporate in my art are probably medieval to generically medieval, I'll say, to about the 1830s, early 1800s. Tasia's favorite fashion history points in time are probably the 1820s throughout the 1870s, because she's got a whole steampunk thing going on, and I'll post a link to some of her work below. But we are really into fashion history, and that's something that we're doubling down on and really honing in with our work. So to further talk about what's actually going on here, but yeah, so this guy's supposed to look like your stereotypical Prince Charming, and as far as his pose, he's supposed to look like welcoming, open and strapping, just nice guy or whatever. And I came up with this pose actually first by doing gesture drawings, and then I took reference photos. Like, most people or a good chunk of artists will say things like, I don't have a model, I don't have a friend or family member who will pose for me. I actually took photos of myself to reference the man's pose. And I'm going to take some better photos, because when I actually transfer this into oils, I'm going to need to know how to render his hands and get the angle of his face correct and everything. So, I'm definitely an advocate of doing whatever I have to do to get a pleasant, attractive product out of this. So, so I'm a model for everything. All the figures, I took reference photos of myself or my husband or Tasia, or they took reference photos of me. If you don't have a model, you have to make do. And as you can see here, now that I have the larger shapes mapped in, I'm working on more of the little clothing folds and the little crevices and things of that nature. And that's not something that I would advocate working too early on in the process. Just like I said in my previous videos about this drawing. Because if you start going in with these little crevices too soon, you're going to mess up proportions and things of that nature if you're not familiar with proportions and clothing, your figures. So another thing to keep in mind here is I'm not thinking of everything right now. I have, as I'm working on this drawing, I have my sketchbook, my other sketchbook with my thumbnails and my little character composition studies open in front of me. And on top of that, I've already done my gesture drawings of this entire piece in non-photo blue pencil. So I'm not the type of person or the type of artist where places a lot of precedence on getting this beautiful, perfectly rendered, amazing drawing without any kind of under layers or whatever. I prefer, if I'm going to spend the amount of time that I'm going to spend working on this piece from beginning to end, because I'm going to turn this into an oil painting as well. So if I'm going to spend that amount of time working on this piece, I want it to look the way I want it to look. So there's no shame, absolutely no shame whatsoever. If you have to thumbnail a piece or do your gestures in a color pencil or something, if you're doing digital art, use multiple layers. Of course, use it responsibly, and don't let it be a tool to handicap you though. But use every tool that's available in your disposal. And at this point, I'm just drawing in all the tiny little shadows, and I'm very cognizant of where my light source is. Again, just like with the background, I'm really making my darks be dark. I'm grabbing a darker pencil just to make sure I'm pushing my values. That's another thing. Do not be afraid to make your darks really dark. Even certain areas in your skin tones, even a paler skin person or a lighter skin person, push your values, because that's how you're really going to get a three-dimensional feel. And so that is pretty much it for this stage. Subscribe to our channel, because I'm going to be showing some more progress shots of this piece. I'm going to put in some more supernatural elements to really make this look less like like people dressing up like old-timey people, and make it look like some kind of otherworldly, fantastical scenario. So again, with this particular piece, there's more process videos coming, and we have quite a bit of work in the works this year, so subscribe to see that. We're definitely putting out videos every Sunday, barring any kind of disaster, ailments, or traveling situations. and click the links below. You can communicate with us on Twitter, Instagram, and all those other places. And we actually have things for sale now on our Etsy store and on Society 6. So take a look at that and get something nice for yourself. And comment on here if you enjoy. And we do these videos for the benefit of viewers and for people who aren't us. So let us know if there's anything that you want to see or any questions you may have about us or our work. And thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.